Hello everybody, happy Sunday. It is beautiful and breezy down by the river. I found a nice spot to where I can feel refreshed even though it is very hot today. There's not really a good time to pick to come walk today because it's going to be in the mid 90s until almost the sun going down, and then it's going to rain later, so maybe that'll cool things off for tomorrow. But then I'm back at work, so I can't enjoy walking. My work schedule is kind of weird. Unless I get up really early, I can't do it on the weekdays. But today I wanted to piggyback a little bit off of yesterday's message, and I'm not going to be long because I was talking about discernment and how to discern people out of your life, how to recognize the signs if somebody is for you or against you, if they're a false person or mean-spirited. If you are in a situation where somebody has tried to manipulate you and you discern them out of your life and they know that you no longer trust them, they will operate out of the spirit of fear because they have been pinpointed. They have been noticed. God has revealed something to you about them, and they know that you are going to steer clear. So, in turn, you need to watch out for people that are not for you, but yet are trying to be your friend because they need information for the person that has tried to manipulate you, and you no longer trust them. Specifically, the person that I overheard being ecstatic, elated about my perceived downfall. They have friends that will try to be my friend, and I'm not friends with them. I am walking alone with God right now. I have promised myself to not make any new friends at the moment until I get through with this, because I've had so many people come at me sideways that just could not be trusted for one reason or another. And so this person that I overheard, they knew that I was not going to trust them, and that they had slipped up and said something within earshot of me that they did not want me to hear. So in turn, they have sent one of their friends to try and be my friend, as if I think that they're really my friend. I don't think they're my friend at all, and if I give them any information, it's information that I've already told everyone online. It's not anything excuse me, it's not anything that it's not public knowledge already. I'll never give them inside information about my walk with God, the things that I meditate on, the plans that I make, anything special or interesting or anything that's gonna allow them to gain special information in my life. I simply know that I can only trust God at the moment. It's not negotiable to me at this stage of the game, because I'm close to the finish line, and I know that, and they know that too. So a lot of things that, and I won't say they again because I've been attacked for saying they, specifically with people in court. They, who are they? Like, it's just made up people. It's all in my mind. It's all mental illness, instability. When I say they, I talk about my rivals. I talk about my ex-husband. I talk about his family. They come in droves with him to court because they think that there's strength in numbers, but it just shows that they're thick as thieves to me. There's no strength in numbers. If one person is lying, they're all lying. That just shows that you're all supporting each other in those lies, and that if somebody wants to invest in their own downfall, if they want to invest in someone else's downfall, they're going to fall like dominoes. So you stand together, you're going to fall together. And that's just my opinion on things. But if someone is your your rival, if they don't want what's best for you, and then all of a sudden their friends that you didn't overhear someone saying about you, perceived downfalls being celebrated, if they didn't say it, they're still associated with that person. They may not, be seen with them all the time, but if you hear them tell each other that they love each other and that they mean it, they're together. So know that you can't trust friends of your perceived rivals either. They may try and act like they're not associated with that person when it comes to what was done to you. I'm really sorry that happened to you. No, you're not, because if you were, you wouldn't be friends with that person still. You wouldn't be buying into everything that they're saying to blow smoke up your butt, to make you feel great. They're just using them, and they're just trying to use you as well to get information for that person. So don't fall for that. Don't be someone's pawn in the game. It's really sad when people try to do it, but it's also sad when they know that it's being done and they do it anyway, because again, they're investing in their own downfall just by association and just by acting on behalf of that other person. So again, let them, because they're doing it to themselves. That's their own karma that's going to come back. And also let them, because they're exposing themselves to you, so that helps you out. But also know that you don't need anybody but God. You don't need a ton of friends behind you. You don't need a ton of family behind you. If God has put you in a place to act on His behalf, to carry out, His agenda here, which is in the light, to be the light, you don't need anybody else, because what is for you will always be for you. If God is for you, who could be against you? And no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Period. So you don't need anybody else. Don't let anyone put the spirit of fear in you. Don't be too forthcoming with information to these people or the people that they're friends with that have been positioned around you. Just keep doing what God's telling you to do. Meditate, pray, keep on your path and in your purpose. Don't retaliate, and don't tell them that you see them. I am in my video, but not directly to their face, and I'm not naming their names, but they know who they are. I'm simply going to tell the truth about it, and I'm not ever going to stop being a truth teller. The only reason that I wouldn't mention your name is because I don't want any defamation cases. I don't need any more cases, but I'm still going to tell the truth to where you know who I'm talking about. It just is what it is at this point. I don't want anybody to think that I'm falling for it, but I do give you enough rope to hang yourself with, because if you want to do it, but just know that karma's going to come back on you. Oh my gosh, there's tons of ants over here. That karma's going to come back on you. It's not anything that I can control. I can't stand in front of it. If you want to do that to yourself, do that to yourself. If you want to do that for someone else that's really not doing anything for you. I know that people have gotten gifts for being associated with my enemies, for doing their dirty work for them. I've talked about come-ups in my last video. Come-ups can be in the form of anything. It doesn't have to be money. Money's traceable, so a lot of times people won't use money to reward others for dirty work being done on their behalf. Some people have gotten cars and vacations before, but there's all kinds of things that will be enriched upon, how people can be enriched for acting upon carrying out the duties for others. And if you pay attention, you'll see it. If somebody has acted upon your enemy's behalf, just look at what what they have that they didn't have before. Things that they talk about that are some kind of come up in one way or another. Things that they have all of a sudden gotten since they've been talking to you and since you've discovered that their friend was your enemy. What did they get? What do they have now? What kind of false glow up are they bragging about? So I've also talked before about the devil blessing people, that the devil also blesses people. But if God blesses you, that's because you've been obedient and you deserve it. But the devil will bless you to be an agent for him, and the devil always comes to collect. That blessing is never free and clear like God's blessings are. The devil will always come to collect, especially if you can't deliver, if you can't bring people down, people of God, people in the light down for the devil, then he will definitely come to collect. And you better bet nobody's bringing me down. The only person that can bring me down is myself. And I'm not going to self-sabotage at this point. I'm not ever going to self-sabotage again. And in this situation, I'm way too close to the finish line for that. And I've seen too much. I've said I wouldn't be long, but I just want to mention a couple of other things that happened prior to this. I had mentioned before, the guy that came towards me that tried to act like he wanted to date me approached me outside of a laundromat and right by my car. So if you want to date someone and you don't know them, all you have to look at is superficial things, you know, their body, their face, what they have. So I'm going to a laundromat when this person approached me, so they know that I don't have a working washer or dryer or both. You see my car, which is all mangled in the front from the wreck. I've shown it in previous videos. So, you know, I'm obviously not doing good on the car front. And then, one little ant. And then there's the body, and I'm not in my ego, so I'm not really gonna talk about what my body looks like, but they did. So if that's all they had to go off of was my body, and they really just had to stop and tell me, you know, that they wanted to take me out, or they wanted to talk to me and get my number, I am intrigued. I am intrigued because the only people that have approached me since I've been going through this are people that wanted to monitor me in some way, or people that had ulterior motives, or that were sent by my rivals, whatever. So I have definitely strengthened my discernment during this time. But I got his number. I let him have my number, and then he sent me his number. And the first thing that I did when I talked to him was ask him questions so that I could monitor him. And I asked him all kinds of things about his life, and he said he had an ex-wife that he was still entangled with. He said he went to Baylor, which is very interesting to me for various reasons. Baylor's a school here in Chattanooga, a private school. And he lied about his age. He lied about him living around here. He said he lived in Birchwood, which is kind of out in the country from Chattanooga. He said he did basically like construction work, I think, like surveying and things like that for his uncle who owned a company. He'd done that for years. So then he got off the phone with me, and he said that he had felt like he was a teenager again, that he could talk to me forever, that I had the voice of an angel. I mean, just really laying it on thick. So, oh, and he said he had no social media, because I was going to look him up based on what he told me. He told me his name was Brett Stevens. And I hope you're watching this. His name is actually John. I'm not going to tell his last name, of course, but I'm going to give you enough to know that I know. So I've talked on previous videos about Been Verified, and Been Verified has been a God-given gift during this time as far as researching people. So I put his number in Been Verified, and he gave me his name, which is John blah, blah, blah. So the first thing I do is I go to social media and I look up John, and I find his Facebook, and his picture was right there. So I knew that I had found the right guy. I also looked him up on LinkedIn, so I knew he was an engineer. He lives in North Carolina, doesn't even live here. Went to school in Indiana for college. He's very respected in his profession. Um, what else? So obviously he didn't work for his uncle. He told me he was like younger than me. Turns out he's older than me. Um, Lots of things he had said about, well, his ex-wife he was still entangled with, that she worked for this screen printing company, and it turns out that someone in his family did. So he cherry picked with the information, gave me information from things that his family did, which he said were related to things that he did. Not cool. So I was ready for him the next time that he called me. So I already knew who he was, and I planned on confronting this. So he kept calling me and said he just wanted to hear my voice again. And then I told him he needed to be honest with me about who he really was, because I know. And then, of course, he had to go. And then the next time that he called me, he just wanted to tell me how paranoid I was, because I told him, I said, I know your name. I know who you are. You tell me why you lied to me. And, oh, it's because of my on and off relationship with my ex-wife, and I didn't want her to know. And I was like, well, if I'm such an angel, if I'm such a blessing to you, then why would you think that I'm the type of person that would go and tell your ex-wife, not your current wife, your ex-wife, about you? Why would you care? Why would you think that I automatically would be that kind of person? And then all he would say, well, after he said, just come and sit down for a drink with me. I don't drink, so that was never going to happen. Plus, he's a liar. That's also never going to happen. So then all that he had to do, instead of coming clean about why he did what he did and who he really was tell me, you're paranoid. Well, you're just paranoid. He said it maybe 5 or 6 times. Like, he wants me to be paranoid. And I'm not paranoid. I put my blinders on about things like that. But if I have you caught fair and square, you either got to come clean or you got to turn it around on me somehow. And that's what he planned to do. So he got blocked. So John, I hope you know, I'm praying for you. I hope that you make better choices in your life. I know that God loves you too, and I send you love and light from afar, and I hope that you don't try to do that to anyone again. Also had a couple that I had stayed with. Coincidentally, the day that they took Colin from me, I had secured a place in their home, and they did a lot of nice things for me, but in the end, they turned out to be betrayers as well. And I decided to leave there after being there for 2 weeks. They did loan me money to get a lawyer, and the lawyer that they suggested, she was corrupt. She was corrupt. Someone that I thought would be very helpful, because they went through something similar in their life to me. Thought that it would be the perfect person to represent me, but yet she wouldn't even meet with me in person or talk to me on the phone. And in the end, she put me off on one of her junior associates. But when I requested a refund, she kept $2,000 of the $5,000 that was paid to her, quoting her own rates for being my representative, even though we never spoke. We never spoke, not even over email, not in person, not on the phone, even though I requested those meetings in person and on the phone. You can't even go up to their office. You have to talk to someone in the lobby. Never, ever heard of a lawyer operating like that, much less keeping $2,000 of your money for doing nothing for you. But anyway, that person was suggested to me by this couple. And this couple, the first night that I stayed with them, they went to church. And I stayed at their house by myself and played with their dogs and just kind of licking my wounds, because I didn't have my son. That was my first night without him, or actually second night without him. But the guy came rushing in from coming back from church, and he threw a gun in my hand. And I was like, what? what is he doing? Why would I want to hold his gun? And then I just handed it back to him and thought that was the strangest thing ever. A couple days later, the wife called me a prostitute, tried to act like it was funny, that it was all said in a joking way. I don't joke like that, especially going through what I'm going through. I'm not a prostitute. I've never been a prostitute. No shade that anybody wants to live that life. It's your life. You do what you want with it, but that's just not for me. It's not what I want to do. Nothing I want to be called. The husband would also try to flirt with me, tried to get me in their hot tub many times, tried to text me, do you miss me yet, when they weren't there. All kinds of weird and crazy things. My gas got siphoned out of my gas tank while I stayed with them. I almost broke down going to my job interview because of something to do with my gas. I stopped at a little mom and pop gas station where someone had assessed the situation for me and told me that my gas had been indeed siphoned out of my tank. I have pictures of where the gas had run down the side, and a couple days before that I had smelled gas really strong in my car right after the guy had filled my gas tank up without me even having asked for it. So sometimes people will do things for you. They'll try to act like your best friends, that they're there to help you. But I went through over 2 weeks of struggling before they decided to help me. So why didn't they help me immediately? Why did they wait until my son was about to be taken before helping me? If they were truly there to help me, looking back, they would have helped me immediately and not after I struggled for so long. They would never have put a gun in my hand. And then after that, I told them I didn't feel comfortable with that, calling me a prostitute, filling my gas tank up, yet having gas siphoned out of my tank in their driveway. And then the guy that had assessed the situation said that my car had been acting like that because I possibly had water in my gas tank, told me to go to the O'Reilly's and get the gas treatment for water in your tank, put that in there, and my car was fine. My car was fine again, immediately fine again. As soon as I came back in the door that day from my job interview, he rushed up on me, the guy of the couple I was living with, and tried to take my picture immediately. Oh, I just want to put it in my phone. Well, why would you rush up on me as soon as I walk in the door to take my picture? And then, just for your phone. I was like, I'll send you a picture if you want one for your phone, but I'm not feeling like you taking my picture right now, not after what this guy just told me at the gas station about water being added and gas being siphoned. And that day, immediately, I got my stuff and I got out of there. Of course, I still owe them. I'm grateful for the money that they gave me to obtain a lawyer, even though that didn't work out. So I owe them money and I pay them. I've made lots of payments towards them, but I will never ever be in their presence again. They told me after I left that they changed the locks, even though I never told them I wasn't coming back, but they changed the locks on me because I didn't keep in constant touch with them after I left. So they changed the locks, and then recently they asked for me to meet them to give them the keys back, which I don't even have anymore because they told me they changed the locks, so why would you need the keys back? But they keep trying to get me to meet up with them. That's never gonna happen. I don't trust you anymore. I've discerned you out. You have already put bad karma out there. I can't help you. I can't help you. I let you show me who you are. I let you create the bad karma for yourself, and what's done is done. But just know, my aunt, who started this rumor about me being mentally unstable years and years ago, had told me that she talked to a psych nurse about me that had said that I was bipolar schizophrenic, and that I would kill myself or someone else one day. And as soon as I stepped into that house and I told this couple what my aunt had said and what she had told anybody that would listen, the lady said, "I'm a psych nurse." And I was like, oh my God, of course you are. So yeah, just keep your head on swivel. Don't let it control you. Don't let it make you fearful. They're fearful. They're the ones that are fearful. That's why they're trying to control. That's why they're trying to gain information, because they're afraid of you. You walk with God. You hold a special light that we all hold, but you're choosing to embrace it. You're choosing to act upon that daily. Every day you get up and you make that decision for yourself, and they don't. And so it scares them, and people want to control that. People want to have extra control, but God is in control. You're not in control. You're only in control of yourself, which is why I will never sabotage myself, because I'm in control of myself, not them. I let them, and then I do what I'm supposed to do in turn. And I don't walk in fear, and I don't let them make me fearful or paranoid or anything like that. I still carry on with my life, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm achieving my goals, working towards my goals, helping other people, being true, genuine, and authentic, and let them do whatever they choose to do. Don't be afraid of that. It's nothing to be afraid of. Don't walk in fear, but just know that the way that they're acting, they are walking in fear. So don't let that rub off on you. Don't let that affect you in any way. You keep doing you, and let them invest in their own downfall. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. I love you guys. God loves you. You're never alone. Bye.